Watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. An 18-year-old gunned down overnight, who DC police have ID'd after efforts to save the young man's life.
Our family's trying to get some closure to his passing, and here we are. We can't even get inside.
The mother unable to lay her son to rest when shots rang out near the cemetery. The search is on for suspects in a Maryland triple shooting. And one of DC's longest city leaders memorialized forever. The road renamed for former Mayor Marion Barry. And we're stretching your dollar ahead of the Thanksgiving feast. How to spend less than $30 for your family dinner.
And it was a sunny and cool afternoon. Today is breezy as well. Will that trend continue into your Sunday? Stick around for my answer and your full 7-day holiday weekend forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott, and good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Ben Dennis. DC police say that an 18-year-old was killed in a shooting overnight in Southeast. Officials say it happened around 10 o'clock last night in Waller Court. The victim, now ID'd as Shane Williams of Southeast. He went to the hospital in a car and died after life-saving efforts. District police are offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to an arrest and a conviction.
This is a time when people are already grieving, already sad about losing a loved one.
Meantime, police in Prince George's County say they still don't have any suspects in custody connected to a shooting at a funeral home near cemetery in Landover. Police say that 3 people were shot in a van leaving a funeral at New Harmony Memorial Park on Sheriff Road around 2:30 yesterday. Now, those victims are expected to be okay, but coming up at 6:30, more from a grieving mother who was unable to lay her son to rest at the cemetery because of that shooting. And in Frederick County, the sheriff's office says that they have arrested a former Emmitsburg town commissioner after he allegedly assaulted his 13-year-old son. Police say they've responded to a report of a domestic incident on North Seton Avenue in Emmitsburg. After investigating, deputies arrested Joseph Anthony Ritz III for assault. Deputies said that the child showed visual signs of assault on his body. And turning now, he's arguably one of DC's, if not more colorful figures. There's already a building named after him, and he has his own statue. But tonight, there's another tribute to the late Mayor Marion Barry. A road in Southeast now bears the name of the former mayor. DC News Now's Dave Laval joins us live from the Anacostia neighborhood with the details. Hey there, Dave.
Good evening, Ben. We can tell you the celebration here wrapped up about, an hour ago. However, people are feeling pretty good about what took place. We're standing along a stretch of what used to be known as Good Hope Road. The reason why I say good, what used to be, is because this road has a new name tonight. Good Hope Road is now officially Marion Barry Avenue. People here in Ward 8 remember the former mayor as a tireless fighter for the district, especially for low-income black families. But his reputation became forever tarnished following his arrest in January 1990 after Barry was caught smoking crack in an undercover FBI and DC police sting operation. Barry returned to the D.C. Council after his 6 months in prison and even got elected to a 4th term as mayor. Supporters of Barry told us the name change is something long overdue.
Your connection or your family's connection with Marion Barry?
My mom was one of his secretaries back when I was younger, and other than the summer job program, of course, was one that I had. He was always in the community. We used to have block parties back in the 80s, and one of my fondest memories is him just coming and sitting at a card table in my backyard when I was a little kid, having a steak and eating crabs, and just always a personable person, always showed love to our community, and that's one of my fondest memories of Marion Barry.
The D.C. Council approved the name change earlier this year. Marion Barry passed away 9 years ago next week. Coming up during our later newscast, neighbors tell us what they hope the road's new name will mean for their community. We're live in Anacostia. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Another change. Thank you, Dave. It was a tight college football matchup in College Park. The University of Maryland taking on number 2 ranked Michigan this afternoon. Our sports reporter Jake Rom is at College Park, and we'll have a full game recap later in the show. Meantime, the city of Fairfax kicked off their 37th Holiday Craft Show today. The 2-day event is being held at Fairfax High School on Line Run Road in Fairfax. The event includes vendors from all across the DMV selling homemade holiday-themed crafts, like decorative Santas and wreaths. A one-day admission pass will cost you $5. People under 18 can get in for free. And over in Prince George's County, Maryland, that's where officials hosted their 7th annual Stuff a Truck holiday food distribution event today. That was held at the Six Flags America in Bowie. Organizers say that this year's event will provide around 36,000 meals to families in need. That includes frozen turkeys and other Thanksgiving food essentials. Your time is 6:05. We've got a live look across the DMV. It's all dark in Annapolis, Winchester, over at the U.S. Capitol, and overlooking Washington, D.C. Well, that's Roslyn right there in the background of your screen. Over to Scott Sumner with the latest on your forecast. Scott, bring us up to speed. How's everything cooking?
Well, yeah, right, cooking. Perfect term, right? Because we're thinking about cooking and Thanksgiving this week. All right. It's doing okay. 51 degrees outside right now here at Roslyn and the surrounding areas in the district. Clear skies. We'll have those clear skies overnight tonight. The high was 60 today in the district. The average high should be 57. So just a little above that mark there. The morning low was not quite that cold. It was 54 degrees. The average low should be 41. And the record was 80, set back in 1921. The record low 21 degrees. Now, as far as our precipitation is concerned, well, we have some rain showers. They are well off to the north. Some snow showers across Canada. But as you saw there, dry conditions. So we'll have temperatures as the sky is clear, falling throughout the evening, dropping through the 40s from 7 through 11 p.m. And again, the weather headlines here. Clear and chilly night ahead. Sunny and breezy Sunday. Quiet through Monday. And a soaking rain, welcome I might add, coming in on Tuesday. We'll break that down coming up.
Scott, thank you. Police in Prince George's County say that they have arrested 3 suspects in connection to a murder in Camp Springs. 29-year-old Chanel Slaughter, 34-year-old DeAndre Wilson, and 36-year-old Joseph Lewis are being charged with the murder of 24-year-old Anthony Day Roberts. Police say that Roberts was found suffering from a gunshot wound on Oth Road back on November the 8th. He was pronounced dead on scene. Those suspects face charges including first and second-degree murder. And switching gears, plenty of people are getting ready for Thanksgiving, whether you're talking meal preps or travel. AAA expects that holiday travel will increase 2.3% this year compared to last. And if you're among those drivers or flying, take it to the skies. Tosin Fakile gives us an idea of what to expect and the best time to make that trip.
You're probably starting to pack for your Thanksgiving trip or making plans for when you get there. Well, here are some numbers to keep in mind as you get ready. If you will be driving this Thanksgiving holiday, it will be you and a lot of people. AAA forecast more than 88% of people will be driving and 8.5% will take to the skies. AAA says more people will get behind the wheel this year compared to last year. If you're one of them, expect Wednesday to be the busiest day on the road. Average travel times could be 80% longer in some metro areas. And if you'll be renting a car for Thanksgiving or this holiday season in general, AAA reports the average price for domestic rental car reservation is down 20% from last year. Now, if you're flying, so are about 4.7 million people. Tuesday and Wednesday are expected to be the busiest air travel days and the most expensive as well. AAA says this holiday season, travelers are paying slightly more to fly within the United States compared to going international. The average price of a domestic flight is $681, 5% higher than last year. And keep in mind, the best time to drive is before 11 a.m. on Wednesday. It's not the best idea to drive between 2 and 6 p.m. on Wednesday for your Thanksgiving holiday. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
And staying in the lane of travel, WMATA says that riders should expect delays this weekend for track work on 5 different lines. Crews will perform track work and rail adjustments on a section of track between Foggy Bottom and Clarendon Arlington Cemetery. And because Single Tracking Metro says that they will operate significantly reduced frequencies every 26 minutes on the blue and orange lines. Also, the Silver Line service operating between Ashburn and Ballston only. Finally, Red Line trains will operate every 18 minutes between Shady Grove and Farragut North every 9 minutes on average between Farragut North and Glenmont. The Green Line will run every 14 minutes. And the next time you can call an Uber in the district, a taxi may arrive to pick you up instead. It's part of a pilot program in D.C. And D.C. News Now's Randy Bass is in DuPont Circle on what it means for your next trip.
Yeah, it's all the same on your end. You tap the button for pickup in the Uber app and the company finds you a ride. But the next time you call for an Uber, a taxi cab might be there to pick you up to get you from point A to point B. Uber says it's a win-win for both riders and drivers, saying riders can expect faster pickup times and taxi cab drivers can expect more cash in their pockets. Data from D.C.'s Department of For-Hire Vehicles says riders take an average of 100,000 rideshare trips every day and closer to 10,000 trips a day in cabs. Cab drivers took a big hit when both Uber and other rideshare services rose to prominence years ago, and now they might be able to recoup some of those lost trips.
The taxi industry was decimated as a result of Uber and Lyft introduction to the city. And also, the pandemic also had affected taxi. I imagine that taxi drivers may increase their income between 10 and 30%, and that's a great deal.
These new kinds of trips could start sooner than you think. Taxi cab drivers here in D.C. were supposed to get information on how to sign up. And once that's all complete and they're signed up and ready to roll with the app, they can start accepting Uber trip referrals. In DuPont Circle, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Randy tonight. Mark your calendars. It's not even December yet, but you can already get excited about DC's biggest spring attraction. Organizers have already put plans in place for next year's National Cherry Blossom Festival. It will begin March 10th and run until April the 14th.